Let's create this sound. So first let's set the default template, and this is what we have. Sawtooth waveform, and I'm going to jump right into the synthesis view, and here I can see in more detail what's going on. I have the first oscillator turned on, the other two are turned off. The filter is set to its default position. All the envelopes are at their default position, and we have envelope 4 already locked with our amplifier, and this means that whatever we do here, this will affect the overall shape of the sound. So right now you can see that I'm playing something. When I'm releasing the keys, everything stops, and we can have a bit of release here. And I'm going to change the saw into a sine wave here, and this is how it sounds. Right, and I'm going to go and set the reverb. So with this default template, we already have two effects. We have delay and we have reverb. They're actually not really used because they're on 0 wet. So if we want to have a bit of delay, I'm gonna turn it up. Right, next I'm going back to the synthesis view here, and I'm going to turn on oscillator 2, and it's set again to sawtooth. It's already very nice, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit sync, and both of these oscillators are now synced. So oscillator 2 is synced to oscillator 1 cycles. And next I'm going to change this to an octave up. And now let's play with the filter. So the filter is a low pass filter, and we're filtering out the high frequencies. And gets a bit of resonance. That's the bump, that's the kind of gain around the cutoff point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of automate this, and I'm going to do this with envelope 1, and I'm going to set this to mseg, which means that I'm able to create various points, and this will be used to modulate what's happening with the filter. So how do we do that? That's pretty easy with this synthesizer. I'm going to hover on top of the frequency here. See that little plus? Click that and get envelope 1. Then click and push up as much as you want. You can experiment with that. And now what will happen is that when we're playing, you'll see that the envelope cut, the filter cutoff is being manipulated, being modulated by envelope 1. And we can try different settings here and see what works for our sound. Now, if it's too much, we can just click, drag down. Right, so that's the idea here, and we can turn on oscillator 3 and select something else. For example, we can go to the trance waves and try and find something interesting. We have all kinds of waveforms here, so let me find something nice, and we can try the E-piano here. Let's see how it looks. And let's hear how it actually sounds with an octave up. And I'm going to turn off oscillator 1 and 2. Right, and we can actually modulate that as well with the same envelope 1. So let's do that. Click envelope 1 and just do this. And now let's add everything back. Oscillator 1, oscillator 2. Right, so that's the basic idea, that's the sound. Now, if this envelope is too much, what we can do is a couple of things. We have the level here, so we can turn these levels and just change them so it will be just slightly more gentle. And we can change the timing. Right, so we can get them closer to one another. But if we want to overall sync this to our host, we'll click this drop down here, and we have choices, time, sync, triplets, and so on. So now it's synced and we have the rate. Cool. Next, I can experiment with different positions of the cutoff frequency. And we can go back to the effects and try something else. For example, we can set this to parallel, and now we have effect 1 going into effect 2. So we have the delay going into the reverb and effect 3 going into effect 4. So let's try and find something interesting here. And we have 15 different effects to choose from, and we can use the stereo panning. Let's set that to sync. Right, and that's the basic sound that I was looking for. Let's hear this one in context of a bit of background track.